Sports Network. Kyle and Brandon back with you here. And Joey, the season ended abruptly due to COVID-19. You end up with the second overall pick. We're excited about the opportunity to bring in a really good player. I know we've alluded to Pano Fimis earlier in the interview, but as the silver lining for what was a very tough season, and the first time Niagara had really experienced a team that had to battle through such adversity, with the losing streak, a very young team trying to push themselves into enhanced roles that were magnified after these trades were made, and just
most importantly for me, it was, getting that second overall pick. It was a franchise-changing play to be able to make that second overall selection because we were able to get the guy that we felt from day one really would be the game-changing, franchise-changing centerman that we, felt we needed to bring in here. So certainly,
obviously, we were thrilled about getting Pano Fimis, the crown jewel there, second overall. Most likely, without a shadow of a doubt, our next franchise centerman, mature beyond his years. I kind of want to talk about the rest of the draft picks. So defenseman Alex Leonard from the Mississauga Reps in the second round, teammate Bryce Cook, big body winger from the Toronto Junior Canadiens, and Dylan Rubrick from the London Junior Knights in the third round. What about those players made you feel like they were worthy of being taken at those high picks rather than maybe somewhere else in the draft?
Yeah, so certainly I'll start with Leonard there, at 27. He was our number 2D on our list, second only to Nelson, who went first overall. Here's a guy we've had inside of our top 10 as a staff all year long. We have him currently as our number 2 defenseman, only to the guy who went first overall. So it was one of those where I just said to the guys, the drop-off in caliber of defenseman from Leonard to anyone else who's available is far more significant than the drop-off in forward talent right now. So we kind of looked at it. There were 5 forwards, and funny enough, Cook was at the top of the 5 forward list for us anyway, so it worked out great. But we had 5 forwards and Leonard sitting on the board, and we said, look, if we don't take Leonard, he's going in the next 2 or 3 picks for sure. He'll never get around to our second pick in the second round, and just the difference is too great to ignore here. He's extremely high-end, an unbelievable skill set. Well-versed, has a great defensive, physical, mean, kind of gritty side to him. And at the same time, is an absolutely elite puck mover, great feet, very fluid, thinks the game at a fast pace, moves at a great pace, does everything quickly, very sharp out there mentally. So certainly, we're extremely excited to bring him in. And then again, we were over the moon 6 picks later to be able to get Bryce Cook, because as I alluded to, we had 5 forwards on the board and Cook was our number 1 of those 5. So we said, we will get one of these 5, 6 picks later when we were taking Leonard, and we said, wouldn't it be great if Cook would be the one that fell to us? And then we were fortunate enough that he did, and then certainly a guy, played on Pano's left wing all year. Unbelievable goal scoring ability. This is a guy who literally, gets bigger by the month here. His dad, I think, is, 6'7", his brother's 6'5". So this is a kid.
Must be nice to have those genes.
Yeah, well, no kidding, no kidding. So it's funny, you kind of look at him. He's a kid that is going to continue to grow. And I genuinely believe, where he's going to be one of these guys that everyone around the league 2-3 years from now is going to look at this, 6'5" goal scoring machine and say, how the heck did he, get to the second round? Like, how was he not a bona fide first round lock? Just because that's kind of the upside and the progression he's been having. This guy is a player. He's detailed. He does the little things. He knows the finer points of the game. When you go and watch him, he's a guy that you always kind of gravitate to. And then again, to be able to score the way he does, playing in the GTHL, isn't easy. And certainly he's got a goal scoring touch that really can't be taught. So we're extremely excited to bring him in. And then again, as we kind of all alluded to earlier, just to have that chemistry level, with our future franchise guy from day one, is something that's extremely exciting. And with Dylan there in the third round, just a bit of a backstory, kind of coming up in younger minor levels, was always kind of the top player of his age group, the ones that it was, this is the player to watch for his OHL draft year in 3 years. And so then prior to this season, I think he literally went from, 5'10" to 6'3" in the span of 2 months. So he had just an unbelievable growth spurt. And then the way he really was able to kind of reel it in and adjust to the new size and really get his feet underneath him as the season went on was unbelievable to watch, to the point that at the end of the year, I mean, at 6'3", this kid moves extremely smoothly. He's very smart, very detailed, great on draws, very, very soft hands for a big guy, has great finish, a great goal scoring touch in tight, is good in traffic. He's a guy that really, I think because he grew so much and it kind of took him, maybe a month or so into the year to really kind of get used to the new frame and the new size and the new body. I think he was slept on a little bit. I certainly do know in talking to some, contacts in other areas that, had we not taken him at 45, I've been told, on pretty good authority that he would have gone, right after. And there were a number of teams that were kind of circling. So I'm sure there were quite a few GMs that were pretty discouraged when we did grab him there. But again, a guy really, as a group, we couldn't believe he fell as far as he did. But another guy, I think who's got great potential, big upside, and really, this is a guy that reminds me a ton of Isaac Ratcliffe, who came through our league very similarly built. Very similar playing style. So really I kind of see a lot of shades of Ratcliffe in Rubric. And again, if he's able to put it together, I think he could be, a heck of a steal in the third round there.
Yeah, Mike Dad was the one that even read an article about him the other day and goes, "Can you believe this guy?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "This guy is 15. He's 6'3".
It's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable when you think, the strength and the size of these guys at such a young age. I think of Rubric this year and Cato last year. I mean, it's really, it's unbelievable. But at the same time, we'll take it. We like that size here. And I think he's got a bright future.
Yeah, it seems like you wanted to add a lot of size to this team, obviously, with guys like Bryce Cook, Dylan Rubric, and was Bryce Cook as a teammate of Pano Fimis? Did that just make it that much easier to take a guy like that with the other second-round pick that you had?
Yeah, you know what, it really did. And again, as I kind of alluded to, there were a number of forwards that we were very interested in, and then it's funny. We actually preferred Bryce, but the way the draft went, the other forwards went in between our two picks anyway. So by the end of the day, quite frankly, made it a very easy decision for us. And really at the outright, he's the guy that we wanted to take with one of the second round picks anyway. We were thrilled that he fell to the second one for us, which is great. But that's exactly it. Really having that kind of trump card of, the fact that these two already have great chemistry. They're already close friends. They played, and that's the exact thing. They didn't just play on the same team. They were line mates, and really drove a lot of things together along with Castle, the other guy on that line there. I mean, all three of them just had such unbelievable chemistry together, that to be able to bring in two of them and especially have Cook come in with Fimis, who obviously was the linchpin and drove, really everything, was extremely exciting. And again, whether they're kind of, placed together from day one remains to be seen, but certainly I think we'll see that chemistry a few years from now really kind of come back, once they both acclimatized. And again, we couldn't be more excited.
Yeah. How exciting is this next chapter of you to watch these kids all grow up together in what hopes to be something special in the next few years for this organization?
Yeah, well, absolutely. And certainly it was huge for us coming in. We made those difficult trades and did all the difficult moves knowing that it was going to pay off come draft day and moving forward to, to future draft days. So coming in, we were very excited to have 4 very high picks that we did, but the round player anyway, really is exciting to have them all signed. We couldn't be more thrilled. And then again, even Struthers in the 5th round and Wisdom in the 6th round, these guys, have absolutely every chance to come into camp, and either make us or earn a contract, and maybe they're a year away. So, I mean, we love, the depth of our draft, the commitments we've had. And really, I think you guys nailed it, with our direction. We could not be more excited at this point here.